On Saturday, November 2nd, starting at noon, Kevin Williams is helping sick kids by playing video games. He needs your help to raise $1,000 for the CHIO Foundation. Donate at extra-life.org/participants/347875.
Lights, camera, action. Cut!
Welcome to Ropes to Reels, part of WrestleMedia, where everything is wrestling and wrestling is everything. I'm at Adam Kota.
At Sir F Word. I gotta get out of this real soon. Not you, not the show. I love both those things. I love you and the show.
Right.
But the reason I got to get out of here soon, I'm having bacon pizza at home. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, he's gonna have pizza with bacon on top. No. I found a recipe online.
Right.
Where you weave pizza into like a batter.
A lattice. Oh, no, you weave it into a batter?
No, sorry, you weave it into, what's it called? The dough.
A basket?
So kind of, basket
a
weave it.
A bacon basket?
So you weave it into like a plate.
Right.
And that's your dough. And then you put the marinara sauce and then the toppings with the cheese and the pepperoni. And basically, just instead of crust, you have bacon at the bottom.
So it literally is like bacon is your plate.
Yes. And you eat the plate. It's awesome. It's a recipe.
Cuts down on dishes.
It's a recipe we found online. She's making it. I want to eat it. just so you know where my mind is while we're watching this movie.
If you had to, would you go through a desert wasteland being chased by war boys, travel through a gigantic CGI storm, fight a blind gunman, and then travel all the way through it again to get to this bacon pizza?
Do I have 4 beautiful women around me?
Well, you have at least one.
All right, yes.
For future reference, as a man who's been in a relationship for almost 2 decades, let me tell you something. Always make sure that you have an opportunity to shout out your partner, especially in the context of a beautiful partner.
That's very true. However, I know she's not going to listen to this because it's Mad Max and she does not like this movie.
Mine doesn't either, but I am taking precautions. Also, what?
I know. I tried. I really tried to sit her down and say, well, let's piece together why. And she's like, I just find it so boring.
I never disapproved of your relationship with Alex before. I thought she was a lovely girl. This has completely changed my opinion of her. And I am now worried about you.
Spoiler for the personal review at the end of this show.
No, there's no need to spoil this. I love this main event. The main event of all main events. I love this movie. It's in my top 5 personal favorite of all time. It's a masterpiece. There's no other way to describe this film. And your harpy of a partner does not like it.
I like how you started off this statement with, be sure to talk about the beautiful women in your life while talking about other beautiful women. This harlot.
She's not beautiful to me. Not anymore. Now she's deranged.
Oh, that's fantastic. I need you to sit down with someone that doesn't like this movie and just... I want to see the utter confusion in your face last a half hour.
I don't understand. Like, how can anybody not love this film? I mean, except for, red pill men's rights activists, but we'll talk about that a little bit later.
Do we have to?
Yeah, well, I think it's important. It was a big part of the film when it came out, so we are going to get there. In the meantime, I want to ask how you're doing health-wise, because it seems like every single week you are just around the corner from death.
Yeah. It's same this week, yeah.
Let's talk about what happened to you this week, please.
So, it was funny because it was like 2 days before I recorded.
There's nothing funny about this. This
you
is
have to
horrible.
laugh at life. You have to laugh at life.
Okay.
So 2 days before last week's solo episode, I had to go to the hospital for the second time. So the first time, which was in the morning, my lips were swollen, I couldn't breathe, and I had rash all over my body. It was just like one giant rash, it wasn't rashes. I was sweating, and I threw up 3 times. I hadn't eaten anything at that point. It was just basically...
If there were multiple rashes, we'd be worried.
Fair. It's like clear bile coming out because there's no food in there. 3 times, I'm like, oh, I probably need the hospital. So, of course, like a good radio guy, I record the show.
Sure.
Where I should have just gone.
Yeah.
Hour later, go to the hospital. They say I have an anaphylactic shock. Which, considering the symptoms, makes sense. So, they take my leg, stab it with an EpiPen, sit me down for 4 hours, and say, let's see how it goes. They gave me grilled cheese and soup. I consider this a win.
Canadian medicine, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep. Grilled cheese and a soup. For hospital food, not bad. Pudding, I don't know what they did with
3 stars. Mid-card. Pudding was mid-card.
You beat me by that much. So they let me go, and I'm still feeling terrible. Like the rash is still there. I'm still got like trouble breathing. I'm like, all right, I guess I just got to let it die down. Fast forward another couple hours. Can't breathe again. So should I stab myself with this EpiPen or just go to the hospital? Let's just go to the hospital. They'll have one for me there. So the doctor says, what happened? I think I'm going into anaphylactic shock. It happened this afternoon. I got an EpiPen and went to the hospital. He said, okay, then you really shouldn't be. Like, you had at least 12 hours before the next one. So let's run some tests. So 5 hours later, it's discovered that I did not have an anaphylactic shock.
Oh.
I had a mixture of a head cold, a lung infection, and allergies. So the head cold had killed my immune system and let the other two things run rampant.
And yet, you are still here to talk about Mad Max Fury Road.
Man, I was there last week talking about composing music.
Which I liked, by the way. That was a great episode. Thank you for filling in on that.
That was fun.
I want to tell a story really quickly about how that almost didn't happen because I have such poor memory. Last week, for those of you who don't know, I've been doing some intense training for a new career, and it's made me busier than usual. And I haven't been able to keep up with all my duties here at WrestleMedia. So thankfully, our fellow team members have stepped up to the plate and helped out, including one Sir F word to my right, because he said, "Well, I'll take care of it. Don't you worry about it." But I, in my post-exam
confusion,
stupor, was trying to scramble to think, oh my God, we don't have an episode this week. I didn't plan this. But of course I didn't. You planned it. And I came scrambling to say, hey, do you want to watch Mad Max? Because I was like, it's my birthday and I've always wanted to do this movie on my birthday because it means so much to me because it's one of my favorites. And you're like, I got this. Like I have this planned. We can still do the episode if you want to create more work. And I was like, no, that's fine. That's fine. And it was a great episode. I really, really enjoyed it. So thank you for filling in, riding solo last week. It's been too long since you and I have actually sat down and reviewed a movie together.
I guess it's been like 3 weeks, hasn't it?
It has. But I loved what you did with Jeff on the
Iron
Man episode. It was a lot of fun. And I've been enjoying the stuff we've been doing. So I'm glad that we're back together. As we are back, just one episode away from 100. You guys know that I've been hyping this up since day one. We always knew it was going to be ready to rumble. And I'll say this, whether it works out or it doesn't, I'm going to have something really cool for you guys next week.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be, if you don't know, do we tease what the actual format is if we watch the movie?
Yeah.
Just so people know, you can watch it along with us. We're going to be recording the episode as the movie goes on.
And we're going to try to get as many members of WrestleMedia to watch this as possible because this is a movie that is not just near and dear to my heart, but it's near and dear to a lot of members' hearts. I know that if Jeff DeHaan were able to, he would probably drive up from Orangeville to watch it with us because he loves that movie. As a matter of fact, well, you know what? I'll tell that story next week. We won't worry about that. Instead, I want to tell a different story about Jeff DeHaan and this movie, Mad Max Fury Road, because he was the guy that I saw this with for the first time. And I had no intention whatsoever of watching this movie. I wasn't a big fan of the Mad Max series from the 80s, and I guess, was the first one 70s, late 70s?
A little bit in late 70s, yeah.
I mean, I thought they were fine, but I didn't really care for them one way or another. But it really was the only kind of cool thing that was playing at the movies that weekend. So I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. Had my mind blown. And I went and saw this in the theaters 9 times.
Jumpins.
9 times I went to Galaxy Cinemas to watch this movie. I literally put out a request and said, look, if you want to go see this movie, tell me. I'll drop whatever I'm doing and I will go watch this movie with you. Because I'm pretty sure I was on break. So that's how much I love this film. It's absolutely insane. I love it. And I'm so glad that we get to talk about it here a few days before another big epic, which is Chinlock Wrestling. Of course, if you're listening to the free version, it's happening today. And if you're one of our patrons listening to this a few days earlier by putting a few ducats in the bucket over at patreon.com/WrestleMedia.ca, we got something kind of fun involving Chinlock Wrestling coming up for you in the second half of the episode that you're definitely going to want to listen to. We're going to recast Mad Max Fury Road using only Chinlock Wrestling participants, which I think is going to be a lot of fun. But that's only if you're one of our patrons. Because you see, if you decide to give us some money over at patreon.com/WrestleMedia.ca, then we decide to give you a little more, whether that's early access to our episodes, extra long episodes, or ad-free episodes. And I mean, that's only the tip of the iceberg. That's kind of the stuff you get all the time. But then we also got stuff like our quick picks. We've got our Watch Along Wednesday episodes. We've got exclusive series like our recent I Was There franchise. And that's another reason why I wanted to bring up Chinlock, because this is going to be a real special weekend for you.
Yeah, this will be my first live wrestling event.
You've never been to a wrestling event before.
It's just never worked out. I've had the opportunities, but then all of a sudden either work or something personal's come up, and I can't make it. So this is the first time, fingers crossed, knock on wood, that I'll actually be able to attend.
Are you excited? I'm pretty excited because I just want to sit down next to you and watch your reactions and be like, oh God, what does he think of this?
It might be the same as when my girlfriend took me to a magic show. I love live magic.
Oh, do you?
It's one of the greatest times I ever have in my life. So my girlfriend found that there was one coming to town, and she bought tickets, and after the word, she said, I have no idea what that man did. I was just watching your face for the entire time. Because this dude put like 2 doves in a bird cage, put a blanket over top of it, lifted up the bird cage, did a wha-pa, and a woman appeared. I'm like, yeah, that's how you open the show. I'm in. I'm invested. Do whatever. I don't care.
If you think that was good, wait till you see Willie Mack and Sami Callihan. Those guys will put 2 wrestlers in a ring, and a bloodbath comes out. So,
oh, good.
You better be ready for that. It's going to be awesome.
I got my tetanus shot the other day, so this will work out great.
Excellent. You're prepared. You're prepared.
It's going to be a great.
It's going to be a great show. You're absolutely going to love it. Just as much as I loved this movie. So why don't we dive in finally to Mad Max Fury Road by asking a very important question, Drew, a question that we ask every single week.
What in the Sandy Sahara succotash does this have to do with professional wrestling?
That was very good. You know how much I love my alliteration. Yeah. That's good stuff. You probably already know.
I know this one.
Okay, well, let the people know.
This is Nathan Jones, who had a one-time WrestleMania appearance.
He did.
Which, the best way to describe it is an appearance.
Yep.
And
he was scheduled for a match.
And he showed up for it eventually. And
although he's not on the box, if you look at the back of the DVD or the box, it doesn't say Nathan Jones and Undertaker versus A-Train and Big Show. It just says Undertaker in a handicap match. That's how important Nathan Jones was to this match.
Also, remember, he came in like end of the match and just started kicking people. Technically a disqualification, but referees.
Wait, are you telling me that Nathan Jones ended the Undertaker streak?
Yeah.
Back in 2003?
Yeah, with a big boot, of all things.
Conspiracy revealed, ladies and gentlemen.
So if you want to look out for Nathan Jones, he's the shirtless buff dude.
He says, I had a baby brother.
Oh, that's right. And also, you have the IMDb page open up.
I sure do.
This is one of my favorite things about this movie, are the frickin' names.
Yeah.
So Nathan Jones plays Rictus Erectus.
Come on.
Come on. Fantastic. Then there's the Dag, played by Abby Lee. Cheeto the Fragile is going to be my wrestling name. If ever I go into the ring, it's going to be coming in at 168 pounds, Cheeto the Fragile.
Only if I can manage you as Zoe Kravitz's character, Toast the Knowing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, these are kind of awesome. The Splendid Angarad, Capable. You know who...
The Organic Mechanic.
Do you know whose ring name would be Capable? Andrew Kent.
I don't know. Andrew Kent kind of seems like the Doof Warrior to me.
Not the Capable Andrew Kent, just capable. He's just capable. He's fine. I like the Dag.
The Dag is great.
Although
Slit careful.
I like the Dag better in what's that Guy Ritchie movie with Snatch? Dags. Dags. Woof woof. Dags.
What else we got? Scroll down. I want to see what other stupid
Bullet
names.
Farmer.
That Miss Giddy. That is, if that's not a wrestling name, it is now. The Valkyrie has to be. There has to be a Valkyrie in professional wrestling.
I don't think I've ever seen one. The Vovolini. It was a great name for a women's tag team.
I was going to say like a mob. Okay. Like, if you ever had a Godfather-inspired gimmick, like not the Godfather pimp, but like, offer can't refuse, that guy.
Right.
That was the worst Godfather I've ever done.
Yes, it was.
The what is it?
Vovolini.
Vovolini is what you call the family.
Okay, or maybe it's the... Oh, I'm so stupid. It's the Volvolini. Like the vulva.
Oh, that's right, because this movie is about...
It's a group of women warriors.
This is yes.
I feel so dumb now.
Yes, this movie. Oh, but these names. Corpus Colossus
That's
is
a great
the
name
of WrestleMedia's first pay-per-view.
Corpus Colossus?
Corpus Colossus.
Fun fact, do you know what the name of WrestleMania was before it was WrestleMania?
Wasn't it like the Tumble Rumble or something?
The Colossal Tussle.
That's what it was.
Thank God Howard Finkel came up with the WrestleMania.
Oh, man.
There's a lot of interesting names in this. Ripsaw Driver. Now there's a finisher. Sounds like a wrestling finisher, doesn't it?
Not the accused dead?
The Accusing Dead? No, that sounds like it could have been the Smash Brothers name when they went to AEW, but they didn't go with that, unfortunately. War Pup. War Pup sounds like it sounds like a really bad wrestling. That sounds like a backyard wrestling name.
That sounds like a 90s wrestler that's trying to like really be edgy, like Junkyard Dog or like Demolition, or who are those guys that wear kilts and a little bit of makeup on their face? They were a tag team.
The Highlanders?
No, it was. They were the 90s. They were like pure angst. They came back for like.
Oh, you mean the Headbangers?
Headbangers. Headbangers would have been War Pups.
I miss the Headbangers. They were awesome. How about this one? Wretched Person. That's a great name. So Nathan Jones is basically what we're getting at here. I thought he did fine. I thought he did a pretty good job.
I mean, what did he have to do?
Look big and intimidating, but he did it, didn't he?
He did.
He did it well.
Yep.
As did a lot of people in this. Obviously, I think we can jump right into the shine and heat and talk about the performances. I mean, Charlize Theron, there were a lot of people who were kind of surprised she didn't get an Oscar nomination for this performance. Do you think it was Oscar worthy?
It was.
Here's what I'll say. You can be honest around me. I promise I will scale my rage back.
I don't think it needed an Oscar nomination. It was certainly career defining.
Yeah.
It's like.
Which performance do you like better, this or Monster?
Monster. Well, Monster, 100%. She disappears in that. That's a whole different character. But this one's like the Terminator for Charlize Theron. No one else is going to be Furiosa.
Yeah.
Because she perfectly encapsulated that character. Everything's going to be an imitation. Nobody's going to be the Terminator. Everybody's going to be an imitation. Does that mean Arnold deserves an Oscar? No, but I'm glad that he is able to make a career and recognized for a great role.
Sidetrack. Dark Fate. What are you thinking?
What are you talking about?
The Terminator, Dark Fate. The new Terminator movie?
I don't care.
What? You mean you don't care? I thought you hadn't seen it. I was like, what? Come on.
After Genesis, I just can't be paid to care about Terminator anymore.
I am less and less excited as each new Terminator movie comes out. I'll agree with that.
I watched it. Not even fun to make fun of. There's a movie on Netflix called The Dirt.
Oh, God. I've seen it.
The Dirt is a movie to make fun of while you watch it and have fun.
It is bad.
The problem with Genesis is it's like you're just disappointed. You're like, that could have been great. That's a good idea.
My biggest issue with Genesis was that as I was watching it, all it made me do was want to go watch the other two first Terminator movies.
By the way, in case you don't know, the fifth Terminator or sixth?
5.
Fifth Terminator movie misspelled Genesis, or they wanted to be fun with it.
Yeah, wasn't a lot of fun in that movie, so I'm glad they did what they did with it to make it fun.
Yeah, I don't care about Dark Fate.
Okay.
I care about Charlize Theron's performance in this. It was fantastic. Everybody gave a hoot.
Well, clearly, so much effort was put into this. Quickly jumping back to the Terminator thing, because I just had a thought.
Okay.
Who's a wrestler they could cast in the new Terminator movie that would make you go, okay, I'll watch it?
As a Terminator?
Doesn't matter. Whatever.
Okay.
You can cast him as whatever you want.
Okay, give me a second to ponder that one.
Okay.
Because it's a current wrestler.
Sure.
Current wrestler in the Terminator.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure if you brought a wrestler back from the dead for it, I think everyone would be like, okay. Okay, I'll watch this.
You're going to Weekend at Bernie's this, huh? All right. Let's see how this goes. Oh. Okay,
if there isn't one, that's fine. I just thought, is there a wrestler who'd be like, yeah, okay, I'll watch that movie because this guy's in it.
Alistair Black.
Yeah, all right, I'll buy that. Yeah, I'd watch it.
To fight a Terminator. Like, we've seen Terminators shoot each other. I don't think we've ever actually seen, like, good hand-to-hand combat yet.
Why haven't they cast a martial artist as a Terminator? I think that'd be a cool twist on that.
Yeah, he doesn't need weapons anymore because they realize, we've tried this like 5 times and it doesn't work. Maybe we get a little more close approach.
Then I'm picking Glacier. Hashtag Glacier for Hall of Fame. Gotta give him a throwback, a callback. Come on, if Arnold can still do it.
Well, that's debatable.
Look, Glacier just proved at Double or Nothing he can still go.
Fair.
For a couple minutes, anyway.
Yeah.
Theron's performance is amazing, as is a lot of people in this. What did you think of Tom Hardy's performance? Because there seems to be mixed feelings about Tom's performance. Some really love the understated, introspective character that he portrayed, and others felt like, he just grunted. He didn't do anything.
It's exactly what was needed for the movie. have you ever seen, it's called Patterson. This is a movie starring Adam Driver.
I actually have seen that movie. Yes.
Here's the thing.
It's very good.
This movie is about a bus driver
who writes poetry.
And
it's based on a true story, is it not? Or it's based on the life of a real person?
Yeah, it's based on the director's life, actually.
Oh, wow.
It's a look at life from the perspective of somebody that's easygoing. That's the best way I could describe this film. Now, Adam Driver does an easygoing character by just being a person. There's no over the top. There's some ums, then ahs. He makes it as real as possible. He didn't need to be George Clooney in The Descendants. You know what I mean? That real putting on an Oscar-worthy, like, I got to win something. It was just a reserved, collected movie because that's what was needed. This movie was balls to the wall insane with motorcycles, grenades, pole vaulting fire people, guy wearing skin and face and running a flaming guitar. Everything is nonsense.
Stop it. I can only get so excited.
You can only get so rictus erectus.
Bravo.
Thank you.
Well done.
So this movie needed something to calm down. It needed a ground, and they used the main character, which worked really well in Road Warrior. And works really well in this film. Now, Tom Hardy does have his moments of, I'm going to kick butt, I'm going to beat people up, I'm going to take this gun.
He's so intense.
So intense. You couldn't put, like, Keanu Reeves in there. You needed somebody that was just, like, been through the ringer, scarred up, bare-knuckle brawler type guy. You needed that look. Tom Hardy was perfectly cast with that look.
I'm not going to lie, that does intrigue me. Like, I would pay to see Keanu Reeves in that role specifically, but you're right. I don't know what kind of job he would do. He certainly wouldn't have done what Tom Hardy did, and what Tom Hardy did was perfect. And I mean, I think there's a lot of people who misunderstand what he brought to the film, which was a real sense of humanity, which I know sounds a little silly considering the subject matter that we're talking about here. But again, that's surface level. When you look deeper into it, I think that when you look at Tom Hardy's eyes in this film, there's fear there. There's a lot of self-preservation. There's a lot of emotion, and he does it with his gestures. He just does it with looks and with small movements. And I think personally that can sometimes be more challenging as an actor, more daunting to say, like, you have all of this huge spectacle surrounding you, and I'm looking a certain way. I think that's a real accomplishment, and I don't think it gets recognized.
It's show, don't tell.
Oh, God, yeah. Because this whole friggin' movie is show, don't tell.
What I love, my big thing, my big shine about this movie is how it's shot. I don't know. I don't know if it's cinematography. I don't know staging. I don't know what the right word is.
See, to me, if I'm going to say directing. It's Miller.
Yeah.
It's all George Miller, which is why he was freaking robbed. He should have won the best director. Never mind. I'm not going to go into that rant. But it is a combination. It certainly can't just be direction. A lot of it is visual effects. A lot of it is cinematography and whatnot. You have to put it all together. If you're going to lay it at one person's feet, I lay it at Miller's feet. But why it's so amazing is that it's everything working together perfectly in synchronization.
It knows how to work your eyes. This is what I love about this movie. And action movies have at times some confusion, especially
putting
with
it lightly.
Taken. Taken is one of the most confusingly shot films when you're looking at action set pieces, the simple fighting or an explosion or gunfights. You have no idea what the heck is going on. And that's just a simple man fighting man. With the nonsense and the constant adrenaline chaos of Mad Max, it's mind-blowing how easy it is to follow. He knows how to guide your eye. There's motion at the left of the screen, so your eyes go to the left of the screen. Nothing's happening on the right because he knows your eyes aren't there. They're over here. And he plays around with that. He makes motion tell this story and say, okay, you want to focus here. You want to focus here. Pay attention here. I'm going to make sure you do. I'm not going to assume you are. I'm going to have this motorcyclist slowly creep up. So you pay attention to that and not focus on the woman in the driver's seat. It was staged and shot wonderfully. If anybody wants to know staging or blocking or choreography of a scene, this movie does it perfectly.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. And that's the reason I love this film. When I first saw it, I was sucked into the visual of it, the visual storytelling of it, the whole perspective of which we see things it's Max, like, it's Furiosa is the hero, but it's Max's story. And a lot of people don't realize that. And he is playing us. He is the outsider looking in on this absolutely chaotic event. And I'll tell you something else that a lot of people, I think, kind of sleep on. This is some of the best 3D I've seen in a long, long time. And it's one of the first things that kind of blew my hair back when I watched it in theaters. And if you missed the chance to see this in theaters, I really feel bad for you, because it is an incredible experience no matter what size of screen you watch it on. But there's something about seeing this in a big screen at the movie theater that needs to be experienced. And the funny thing was, when I watched it on the big screen, there was so much to take in. And then when I watched it at home on my television, there were things about it that I caught that I couldn't see on the big screen. There is so much detail in this movie. It's so jam-packed with stuff for you to watch every time you see it that it doesn't ever get old, at least not for me personally. Have you seen the black and white cut, the chrome cut?
No, I haven't seen chrome cut
yet. It's so good. You gotta watch it. Like, and that really says something for a movie to be able to look hauntingly beautiful in both full color and in black and white. I think that really says something about the way this thing is shot and how it looks. Does this thing have any heat? Look, I'm going to tell you right now, I have zero heat. There's no heat for me in this movie. I can't find anything wrong with it. The music is awesome. The visuals are awesome. The acting is great. The jokes, when they're there, they hit. The action, my God. I love this film. I truly, when I say it's a masterpiece, I'm not being hyperbolic. It is a masterpiece of film, and I think it needs to be, it's art. Like, it is high art dressed up in a blockbuster's clothing. So I love it. It's great. I have no heat for this movie. I'm sorry.
No, I couldn't think of anything. I'm trying to think. Maybe the writing's lackluster, but it's like, okay.
No, it's not.
No, here's the thing. The writing kind of takes a lazily approach, but that's not the purpose of this movie. It's not it's the visual storytelling. I'm saying, like, sometimes the dialogue can get a little hokey, but that's the thing. So is this premise. Like, it dives down in what it is.
See, I disagree with that, because I think that that's only surface level. This movie is saying a lot, but it's not shouting it in your face. It's quietly whispering it in your ear, or not even saying it at all. It's showing it to you. Like you said, it's not a film that needs a lot of dialogue, but what is there serves its purpose and then gets out of your way. I love this movie because no matter who you are, you can enjoy this. If you just want to enjoy this as an action movie, boom, you are taken care of. But if you want to see this as a plea for the environment, if you want to see this as a cry for equality, if you want to see this as all the different messages that have been attributed to this film over time, you can get that from this movie too. And to me, a movie that multi-layered, leveled, and faceted is a real accomplishment in this day and age, and certainly was back when it first came out. That's how I feel about the writing. I think it's brilliant. I can't find any faults in this movie. I love this movie so much.
I got nothing.
So clearly I think it's a main event, and I think you agree.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect. Okay. So that's our review of Mad Max Fury Road. For those of you listening to the free version at WrestleMedia.ca, we're going to leave you here. All right. But for those of you who have put a few ducats in the bucket at our mid-card level or our main event and above levels, stick around after the break. We're going to be right with you. Hey, this is a commercial for patreon.com/WrestleMedia.ca, where you can get early access to episodes of your favorite WrestleMedia shows, get full uncut and uncensored versions of your favorite shows, and more. Don't want to hear this commercial on your podcast anymore? Sign up at our main event tier and get these episodes ad-free. Want to hear your own commercial here instead of ours? We've got tiers for that too. Visit patreon.com/WrestleMedia.ca and join the WrestleMedia revolution today. And I think that's going to do it for us this week. Unless there's anything else you want to...
No, I'm good.
Okay. Well, until we sign off, then I wanted to quickly encourage you guys to visit WrestleMedia.ca. If you haven't yet, please like and follow us on social media. We have Facebook, we have Instagram, and we have Twitter. We're going to be very active at Shinlock, which, by the way, if you haven't gotten your tickets yet, like, we've been talking about it for, like, it seems like forever. What the heck's your problem? you know what? If you don't get your tickets to Chinlock, you know what you are? Mediocre.
There it is. There.
Come witness us at Chinlock Wrestling. It's going to be incredible. This Legends convention, if you're a patron, you've heard us talking about all the legends that are going to be there. And if you haven't, let us round them off again for you. Tommy Dreamer, Bret Hart, the Brainbusters, Mark Henry, Swoggle, Badass Billy Gunn, or Mr. Ass as you would prefer. Fred Ottman, the man behind Tugboat and Typhoon and the Shockmaster, Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart, Jimmy Corderas. These are all legends. Most of them are WWE Hall of Famers or future WWE Hall of Famers. Got the Chinlock Heavyweight Championship. Jesse Mack defending against Madison Rayne of Impact Wrestling. Beautiful Bia, Addie Starr, Willie Mack against Sami Callihan for that House of Hardcore title. I hope you brought like a poncho, because the first 2 rows I'm pretty sure are the splash zone for that match. It could get bloody. It could get crazy. The Chinlock Rumble makes its return. Billy Gunn and Tommy Dreamer against Tyson Dukes and Tarek. I mean, that's going to be an incredible tag team contest. Swoggle versus RJ City. That is going to be Entertainment City right there. So it's not going to get any better than that. We've got the crowning of the Cale Murphy Memorial Champion, CJ Felony and Bill Welichka in one of the semifinal matches there. We've got the Chinlock versus Smash contest, Ray St. Jean versus Sebastian Suave. That could possibly be a breakout moment for Ray St. Jean going up against the likes of Sebastian Suave. I can't wait for this show. It's going to be incredible. And I hope all of you will join us there for a couple of reasons. Number one, we want you to enjoy yourself and take part, but also because we're doing a little contest, Drew. You may have heard of this. We're giving away tickets to SummerSlam. It's this little show you may have heard of. WWE's doing it in the Toronto Summer. It's SummerSlam. We're doing it. We're giving away a pair of tickets. We're just giving them away. Just passing them out. But you got to come visit us at the WrestleMedia booth at the Chinlock Legends Convention at the Leon Center on Tragically Hip Way in Kingston on Earth in the universe.
Just really narrowing it down. Huh?
We'll be there for sure, and you should be there too. You can get your tickets at Ticketmaster, so go do that right now. Then come join us for the Chinlock Wrestling House of Hardcore Chinlock 5 event. And in case you need to be kept up to date with all this information, you can sign up for our weekly newsletter for free at WrestleMedia.ca. Do it right now and don't miss out on everything happening as part of the WrestleMedia revolution. Drew, anything else you want to talk about before we shill next week's episode?
Nah, I'm good, man. I'm sick.
Again? It took you one episode?
Yeah, my throat's sore. Sorry.
Oh, my God. Well, you are not getting out of it. You are not getting out of episode 100. I can't believe we've done this 100 times.
Here and there, there have been little burps and little blips.
But if there's 100 episodes, we've done an episode. We've done 100 episodes.
Fair.
Like, we've put out this podcast 100 times.
Yes, we have.
That's crazy. And tomorrow, or not tomorrow, my God. I'm excited for that, but we got a lot going on, though. Next week, man, Ready to Rumble. You've never seen it.
Never seen it.
My God, this is going to be great. For me. I honestly,
you'll have a good time, but I'm not.
I honest to God don't know how you're going to take it. Like, I feel like you might like it because it is like dumb, but in the best way. Like I say it without any irony. I love that. I love that movie, and I love it because, in spite of its silliness, maybe I don't know. It's hard to explain. It is a real special flick, and I say it with all love and affection for that movie. I truly, truly do love it. My God, man, I can't wait for you to watch this thing. We're going to sit down. We're going to watch it. We're going to try to get as many members of the WrestleMedia family together to watch this movie. And who knows who'll show up. Who knows? Until next week, our 100th episode, Ready to Rumble. Man, I'm so excited. Thank you for getting us here. On behalf of WrestleMedia, I'm at Adam Conta.
That's the F word.
And when it comes to Mad Max Fury Road, that's a wrap.
This has been a presentation of WrestleMedia, where everything is wrestling and wrestling is everything.
Here's what you're missing out on right now over at patreon.com/WrestleMedia.ca. Of course, every good hero needs a villain. Immortan Joe. This is a very important character. So who would you pick as your Immortan Joe?
Mark Henry.
Okay, not who I'm going with, but I want to hear your answer.
Okay, for 2 reasons.
Right.
So House of Pain, when he was real intimidating, the man has a good scary face. He's also very big. Number 2, he surrounds himself with women and he was once sexual chocolate.
I can't really argue that. I can't. Want more? Sign up now at patreon.com/WrestleMedia.ca.